Coming up next on the Commissioner's Report, we're going to first head over to Polk State College Center for Public Safety, and we're going to be meeting with Commissioner Dantzler and as well as the president of the college. And in that discussion, we're going to be speaking about the relationship between the county and the college. And right after that interview, we're going to be speaking with Pete McNally. He is the Director for Emergency Management here in Polk County. We're going to be speaking about a recent trip the county went on, as well as the upcoming hurricane season. We're going to try to get everyone prepared. Don't go anywhere. The Commissioner's Report is coming up right after this. Welcome to the Commissioner's Report. I'm your host, Kevin Watler, and right now we have Commissioner Dantzler, and also we have the president of Polk State College, that is Dr. Eileen Holden. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's
Welcome.
good to be here.
Great to be here.
So why did we choose to come to Polk State College, Commissioner?
Well, this is such a wonderful addition to Polk County and what this will do for public safety and training. And I wanted to really highlight Dr. Holden and let her explain about the building, explain about her program, and just how important Polk State is to Polk County. They are an integral part, not just economic driver-wise, but for the quality of life that we have. And I'm her biggest fan in the whole world. There are others who may object to that, but I've always been one of her biggest fans, and I want her to kind of brag about this building and tell a little bit about the background and how we came about.
So Dr. Holden, how about some of the history of it?
Well, this building, as Commissioner said, is extraordinary, and it wouldn't be possible without the partnership we have with the Board of County Commissioners, because we're on the land that was donated to the college. And it wouldn't be possible without the support of our sheriff, Grady Judd, and all of the local law enforcement municipalities. So it started about 4 or 5 years ago. The District Board of Trustees at the college put our project, the Center for Public Safety, on what's called the facilities list in the state. And Sheriff Judd and I and many other people advocated for the funding. It was a $30 million project. So what we have here, and we opened it in January, is over 100,000 square feet. And what it's done for the college is we've been able to consolidate and centralize all of our public safety training. So inside this building, you have not only paramedic, first responders, EMT, EMS, you also have our law enforcement academy, corrections academy, and also all of the continuing education for firefighters, for EMS personnel, and law enforcement.
So this is going to do nothing but just raise the professionalism of all the first responders, all the people who deliver life-saving opportunities for our citizens of Polk County, and it's all under this one roof. And so I think we should also mention Senator J.D. Alexander,
Absolutely.
Representative McKeel from the state when they were in the state a couple of years ago, helping push this through.
Right,
so.
Without our local delegation, and we have a plaque as you come in the building. Todd is right. Senator Alexander started the ball rolling while he was in the Senate Appropriations Committee, and Representative Seth McKeel was instrumental in carrying the second phase of it, and then Senator Kelly Stargell, Representative Colleen Burton, they were able to secure the money for it to be equipped. The building itself is extraordinary because we're in close proximity to the operations center, to the medical examiner. We're pretty much as central as any Polk State location is in Polk County. So when Lakeland PD trains here or Haines City PD, it's a great proximity. The focus is on skills and training. So we have firearms simulation lab, we have agility training, we have a state-of-the-art fitness center, we have an immersion building where the rooms can move around so that you can do SWAT training. And then in our EMS and paramedic labs, mannequins that can do absolutely everything.
Including delivering a
yes,
baby?
Yes, including delivering a baby. Absolutely everything in, so our students really get real world experience. But probably, Kevin, the biggest advantage to this building being here is the instructors we employ are practicing in their field.
excellent.
We hire the sergeants, the captains, we hire the chief battalion officers to teach our students, and then they develop a relationship, and then our students are able to get jobs in Polk County, stay in Polk County when they graduate.
And you touched on it lightly, this is not just for Polk County Sheriff's, Polk County Fire Rescue, this is for the local municipalities, LPD, Winter Haven PD, Lakeland Fire Department, all the fire departments, all the PDs can train here locally, so they're not having to go somewhere else, spend money on hotel rooms, they can go home, but they can no bed at night, and they can come and go, and it's just incredibly efficient for the citizens of Polk County.
Right, and the Police Chiefs Association was instrumental, and Chief Chris Nelson from Auburndale helped us lobby for the dollars, and Chief Larry Holden up in Davenport, Chief Giddens in Lakeland. It has been a real collaborative
How many
effort.
fingers have touched this building?
Yes.
It is amazing. It is a pure Polk County effort, and it was not
it
one or two
absolutely
people.
is.
It was huge.
Yeah, and next steps too, we're always looking how to make our programs better.
Right.
We're in very preliminary discussions with Sheriff Judd about having what they call a finishing school for officers in the promotional ranks. They would come to this, it would be a national center. People would come from all over the country to train even further in public safety.
What are some of the degree programs that you have going on here?
Well, everything from a certificate program, our paramedic program is certificate, all the way through the Bachelor in Applied Science in Criminal Justice and Public Administration. So really, it is a seamless career path. So you can come into, say, our law enforcement academy, graduate and become a sworn officer. You can get a job with the county or one of the municipalities, be a patrol person, be a deputy. And then to get promoted, you can get into our AS degree, our 2-year degree in law enforcement and criminal justice, and then we have the 4-year degree too. So one of the things that I'm very proud of and really applaud Polk County is they value education. And promotional opportunities in public safety really depend on improving and increasing your education level.
Tell a little bit about the leadership series that y'all have just implemented, and I think I was at one of the first graduating classes last month.
Yes,
and
Deputy County Manager Gary Hester talked to me probably about 4 or 5 months ago about the retirements in the county EMS and fire department. And he wanted to do a leadership program because you may be a good firefighter, but the leadership skills sometimes aren't there. So he wanted to develop the next generation of who will be the leaders in that department. So we partnered with our corporate college, which does customized leadership training. And the county was phenomenal in letting the staff come on their days off, but paying them for the time they spent in the program. And as the commissioner said, we had 2 classes graduate already. And
the 3rd and 4th are pretty much in progress now.
correct.
Right, but what was significant about that is she said 4 or 5 months ago, we approached Polk State, and they devised a program that quickly, a leadership program that quickly, and implemented it and have graduated their first class. That shows how nimble, how flexible, how aggressive, and how creative Polk State is when they develop a program, especially a leadership program. And this is keeping our people within our county, which is a huge goal of ours, is to keep talent that's locally grown, keep it local.
Absolutely.
I think one of the hallmarks of Polk State since it was founded in 1964 is the ability to respond quickly to workforce needs in the community. When Legoland located in Winter Haven, it took us probably a year, 2 years. We have a phenomenal internship program there where our students get to experience all of the different facets of the tourism industry. So whether you're in public safety or whether you're in business or whether you're in our nursing program, we at Polk State can't survive without this community. If the businesses in this community don't hire our graduates, then there's no need for us. So that's why we partner at the get-go with the industries so that they help us develop what they need in the workforce of the future.
Now, the Center for Public Safety is just one campus. How many campuses do you have?
Well, we have two main campuses. In Winter Haven on 99 acres around Lake Elbert. That we broke ground in 1966 on that. We actually started at the Bartow Air Base in 1964. Then in 1988, we opened the Lakeland campus. That's on 133 acres just south of the Polk Parkway in 98. And then we realized that Polk County is so big in square miles that having two campuses, one on the east, one on the west, is good, but we really needed to take the college to the communities. So we have 5 centers. We have a center in Lake Wales, and then we added another center in Lake Wales when we acquired the Lake Wales Arts Center. We have a center in Bartow, which is our Advanced Technology Center, and then over in Lakeland, and then the public safety, of course, and then in West Lakeland by the airport, we have our aerospace program and all of our medical imaging programs.
And with this specific campus, I mean, it's the most modern technology you could find pretty much at probably any campus.
It is, and I think that's the return on investment for taxpayers as a public, as a steward of public dollars. It is absolutely one of the reasons why we went to the county to ask for this land. This building, all of these programs at Polk State belonged here, so that our students have proximity to where all of the action is. So yes, it's our newest building. It's phenomenal, and we are going to continue to keep elevating the level of service that we provide for the county.
So what's next for Polk State?
Well, we're launching our bachelor's degree in elementary education and early childhood education. We have, again, a phenomenal relationship with the Polk County School District. We understand Superintendent Byrd's challenge for elementary school teachers and certified early childhood education teachers. There's been enough research to know that if students get off to a good start in preschool and in the early years, they have a better chance of succeeding throughout their school career. So we have held open houses and workshops throughout the county, have great interest from a lot of paraprofessionals that are in the school. So we are launching those 2 programs this fall.
And you also saw the need for nursing, and
Correct.
you've got a fantastic nursing school as well.
Yes, we do. And actually, several years ago, the 5 hospitals came to us, and really, they had a crisis with bachelor-trained nurses. So we started our Bachelor of Science degree in nursing and have had great success. And same with our bachelor's degree in criminal justice. So our job is to be accessible. That's why we have 5 centers and 2 main campuses. We really feel, the land isn't as important as the programs and the proximity to people. So we're always looking and always interested in what type of workforce this county needs so that we can address those needs.
And Dr. Holden, I'll let you have some final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Well, we're an incredibly strong asset to this community. We have 41,000 alumni since we started in 1964. And I can say I'm here 11 years, but I've spent many hours in the archives, and this college, since it was founded with our founding president, Dr. Fred Lenfesty, has been an asset and continues to be an asset. And we couldn't do it without the support of the community. We absolutely would not exist without the incredible support of Polk County residents and our 41,000 alumni who we've launched into great careers.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you to the residents of Polk County for the support.
Absolutely.
And, they've answered the call from what was required of them. They've gone above and beyond the call of duty under the leadership of Dr. Holden and the leaders before her.
Absolutely.
And she's running the show right now, and we couldn't be more fortunate.
She's doing an excellent job. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better place.
Well, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you everyone at home for watching the Commissioner's Report. We do have more coming up right after this break, so don't you go anywhere.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back to the Commissioner's Report, and right now we're joined by Pete McNally. He is the Emergency Management Director here in Polk County. Welcome to the show, Pete.
Great to be here, thank you.
So we're going to talk a little bit about an event that a lot of Polk County employees recently went to. It was the Emergency Management, it was at the Emergency Management Institute. Want to tell me a little bit about that?
Sure, we took a group of folks up to the Emergency Management Institute in Maryland to a community-wide course called the Integrated Emergency Management Course. The idea was that we would bring folks up there to replicate our Emergency Operations Center operations and go through a series of classroom and exercise environments for about a week's time.
Okay, and this course is developed by FEMA, correct?
Yeah, this is a FEMA course that they have all the time, really, and about every other week they'll have a different group in there. What they do is they will actually come to the county that's being represented up there and visit the county, take a look at what your demographics are, what your geographic situation is, and some other important issues around the county. So when they build their events and build their exercise, they build it for your particular environment and your scenario. So you're up there actually exercising on Polk County people, Polk County areas, Polk County geography, and so forth. So it's very personalized to us, not just that portion, but our plans as well. So when we start to get into the exercise parts of it, it's things that our folks would be dealing with if they were here.
So around how many people participated in this?
Well, we had 74 folks go up there. You're allowed to have 75, and we actually had 75 ready to go until the Thursday before, and someone unfortunately had to drop out. So at that point, it was too late to bring someone else in. So we went up with 74. Of those, 47 actually work for the Board of County Commissioners, and the other 27 were from our neighbors and friends, our partnering agencies from the cities, from other state and local agencies, and private enterprise as well. So a good mix of folks, very similar to the folks who would be representing those agencies in the EOC.
Oh, perfect. Now, what did we do when we were actually there?
Well, as I mentioned, they personalized the training for you. They also personalized the itinerary for you as well. So you can have all training with classroom environment training, or 4 days of exercise if you want to. We chose, as other communities have, and we saw sample agendas that they had done, so we got an idea of what kind of courses they'd taken. We decided we'd do about 40% classroom, 60% exercise. So the classroom activity dealt from everything from public information, a little bit about Polk County background, stress management, debris management, those kinds of things, generally giving the group an overview of what those topics were and how important they were to EOC operations. The exercises dealt with a hurricane event, a hurricane scenario, before, during, or immediately after, and then in a short-term recovery aspect. So 4 days of exercises, one of them being a 6-hour exercise on Wednesday, which really was a testing event.
So I hope we learned something. What did we learn if we did?
Well, we learned we could get along, we learned we work well. We got a lot of really good compliments from the folks who were the staff there, who were our instructors and our core cadre, who really felt that the folks worked together extremely well, knew our plans, knew our operations, and those kinds of things are very positive, especially for a group that really hadn't worked like this together before. I think we learned some of the weaknesses we have and where we need to improve on some of our internal communications. The other thing we learned, as I mentioned kind of in our pre-brief before we came on air, is that one of the things we tried to do is bring people up there who would be part of our team for many years to come. That, of course, lends itself to having some trepidation on their part, being exposed to an event like this. Got that out of the way because now they've seen what that is like, that kind of environment can be like. But also the next step now is to get a second, third, and fourth string, so to speak, so that these people can't work 24/7 for a long time. You know, they're going to need people to come in and backfill for them. So that's our next real challenge, is to find people and train people to take their place so that we can have a shifting during our operations and not burn people out.
So was there anything that we found that, okay, yeah, we need to really, really improve in this area, or are we doing pretty good overall?
I think we found that, as we found in past exercises, you just need to repetitively do it and get people involved pretty much all the time in this regularly in this kind of an operation. That if you try to do it once a year or every couple of years, that people forget certain things, or they're not as attuned to the environment as they would be. So that's probably the biggest takeaway, is that we need to continue training and continue bringing our folks along and make sure they're ready should something happen.
So how often do we participate in something like this?
This is a once in, I won't say a lifetime, but certainly a once in a every 10-year type event. We've never done it before, actually, and I only know of one county who's had a chance to go back and do it again. So we may never get that opportunity, but it's a rare opportunity to go up and be involved in this kind of a training. We certainly get a lot of feedback positively from our folks who have been there, wanting to go again and do something like it again. So maybe in a couple of years we'll try to reapply for a second type of training, maybe a little bit further down in the recovery string than we were at this one. But again, now it's kind of up to us, as part of our charter as emergency management, to make sure our folks are trained and ready to go in a situation like this, should it really happen in our EOC.
Right, and even though we may not go back to Emmitsburg, we have our own type of training that we do to keep everyone up to speed on emergency management.
Oh, absolutely. We do that on an annual basis, one way or another. We either do some field exercises or training in the EOC. We always have some orientation training on some of the systems we have in there every year, regardless of what we're doing. And then sometimes we'll have a EOC exercise, other times we'll have a exercise with EOC supports an event in the field or something like that. But we've always doing some kind of training to make sure people get, again, refreshed on what their role is when they come in there.
Perfect. Now let's switch a little bit from the trip and some of the training we do to what's just about to happen, hurricane season. Mm-hmm. It's already hurricane season on the Pacific side. We're just about to enter hurricane season here in the Atlantic part of the world. What should people be doing right now?
Well, this is the time when they need to start looking at their plans, what they plan to do should something impact us. Many people can stay at home and just ride the storm out, have their supplies for about 3 to 5 days worth of supplies should power fail. Be ready to be in that mode, and again, just get everything they need to be set to go should something happen. There are other folks who may need to have to evacuate. Folks in low-lying, potential flooding areas or in mobile homes should have a plan to evacuate. Doesn't mean they have to, but should be thinking about what they're going to do, what they're going to take with them, where they may go, and have that in mind. We put out different types of brochures and different types of information in emergency management that provides people opportunities to build these survival kits, we call them. There's about a 12-week program, and they can start at any time, but it's broken out as a 12-week program where they can go to the grocery store, the hardware store, the pharmacy, and just get 1 or 2 items on this list and basically fill their kit over a period of time, so they're not having to go out just as the storm starts to approach and fight someone for that last can of beans on the shelves there at Walmart or Publix. You know, they have their kit already at home and they're ready to just hunker down and ride out the storm. Or if they have to go to a shelter, then do the same thing there.
Now, say a storm or hurricane watch or warning was issued and the EOC was activated. Kind of walk us through what happens, what goes on behind the scenes.
Well, before we even activate the EOC, we're watching the storms. And in fact, our EOC coordinator, starting June 1st, will send out a daily tropical forecast of what the tropics look like, what is out there. At the time, even if nothing is going on, he'll send it out saying nothing's going on. But if something's out there, we'll at that point begin to track it, begin to watch it, test for its impact. We'll be in communication with the state Division of Emergency Management will be in communication with our friends at the National Weather Service, with our neighboring emergency management folks. So we're all kind of gearing up in case it should impact us. As the track starts to look like it may impact us, then we'll start a couple of things. One, we'll do some gradual activations, bringing key folks in to the EOC to get our systems ready to go. We'll be sending out situation reports to all of our key players in the county and in our partners, kind of like the same group that went to us to EMI. Those agencies will be, and others will be part of that notification to give them an idea of what we're doing, what the status of the storm is, and what they can expect. And then as we get closer and the storm looks like it could have some impact, we may need to activate just in case. Then we start planning some specific meetings, some pre-shelter meetings, some what we call first-in team meetings, teams we actually plan in the community to be able to go out and start to do some things immediately after storm passage. And then some other housing meetings to see what the status of housing is in the county. Should we have to do some short-term, long-term housing? We have an idea of what is available in the community for a potential housing scenario after the event. And then we'll start again bringing folks in. One of the key things we do is run our sheltering program, and our special needs shelters, especially those people who have some medical need that is not requiring hospitalization, but may require some kind of medical attention during a disaster. We have shelters available for them that they can go to. At that point, we're looking to try to get in contact with those folks to see, one, are they going to need it, and two, if we need to provide transportation to get them out there. And we'll set up with Citrus Connection to get those transits scheduled and get them out there. We'll be talking to the school board about when they're going to close schools so we can start opening shelters. And all this is going on kind of behind the scenes. At the same time, we're talking to our partners again. You know, are your folks ready at home so they can come in and work? You know, are your operations ready to go to withstand an event, and you're going to be fully staffed, et cetera, as we move forward in the event. And then it's a matter of time at that point to wait, see how things go, and respond after the storm goes through. Hopefully it'll miss us. A couple of years ago we had one of those where we went through all that process and the storm didn't really do anything, but it was a great opportunity to test all those different phases of our preparation.
And that's one thing. People sometimes say, well, we haven't had a direct hit in so long. I mean, I think probably 2004 was the last time we ever had a direct impact here in Polk County from a tropical storm or a hurricane. And so we say, well, it's not going to happen this year. But what would you say to those people?
I'd say just the opposite. I mean, in 2004, we hadn't seen a hurricane in this county for 44 years. So a lot of people run under the misconception that this is a safe place to come and a safe place to live. I mean, it is relatively safe, but still, we're on a peninsula sticking in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. So there's any kind of opportunity. We're only 60 miles coast to coast. So, you know, if a storm comes in that direction, we're going to get hit, and it's going to happen. Just the opposite happened in 2005. You know, we got hit by 3 storms in 2004, which never happened at any time anywhere. Now 2005 comes along. How are we going to get this year is the question we were getting. And it's like any other time, we said, just prepare for one. You know, just be prepared to be impacted by one storm. And if you have that preparation, then, you know, we can respond from there after that. Hopefully, we won't even get one, but if we do get hit, it'll just be one a year, I hope, if that should happen. But again, just be prepared for one. That's the key, because there's always a possibility, no matter how active the storm is predicted or how slow they think it's going to be, that one bad day could happen and we could be hit.
Any last words?
Not really. Again, thanks for the opportunity to come on and talk. Again, my real pitch at this time of the year, as I mentioned, is to have people take a look at what their situation is, to plan for being a survivor of an event, and then after that, start looking in your neighborhood, who you can help and who may need assistance in getting themselves prepared, because it is neighbor helping neighbor in those situations. We really need to get to that aspect again.
Pete, thank you for being on here on the Commissioner's Report. And for those of you watching, thank you for joining us for the Commissioner's Report. We'll be back again next time.